You've written this book called The Contest. Right off the bat, somebody sees the title and they're thinking, okay, it's about a contest. What type of contest is it?
I want you to imagine a political Olympics. It's a global contest. It's gigantic. It's the biggest contest that has ever been launched in history. And the Olympics is pretty big, but it's about athletics and political, excuse me, not political, but physical prowess. So this is a contest about politics. It's about culture. It's about spirit, economics. So imagine a political Olympics. That's the global scope of this contest.
Political Olympics can mean almost anything.
Yeah.
But what does it relate to in the book?
All right. So Minerva Bennett, the protagonist, who runs a giant foundation, she's a philanthropist, a billionaire. Her resources and her expertise inform her that she needs to include people from every country, from every age that can at least understand the issues that are confronting mankind in the world. So from literally age 9 up, boys and girls, men and women, elders, middle-aged people, can enter this contest, and they do so by teams. So they can't have unlimited teams. So she and her new foundation that launched this thing allow 1,000 teams worldwide to enter the contest.
Do you honestly feel that a 9-year-old can contribute to something of this nature?
Oh, good question. I actually do, but only with the help and the balance of older, kids, young adults, middle-aged adults, and elders. So certainly to have kids try to figure things out on their own would be absurd. And so some of the drama in the story involves criticism that even including them is silly and absurd, and I did that on purpose. I was a former teacher, so I've taught children of many ages, from age 7 on all the way up to high school, and tutored kids even into college. So I know that a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, they can be pretty, what's the word? They can be not clairvoyant. I can't think of the right word. Anyway, they can be pretty spot on sometimes in seeing the truth in a real simple way that sometimes adults are too jaded to see or accept or admit. So I think it's possible.
She was driven to do this contest. Why?
She, the Minerva Bennett, the protagonist, was questioning her legacy, or is questioning in the present of the near future. She's 87. She's very wealthy. She's given billions of dollars away. She personally and through her foundation. And she's done everything she can, everything she knows how to do, but she still wakes up every day, reads the newspaper, looks at the news, listens to people talk, and she sees that the world is still kind of going crazy. It's going to hell in a handbasket. So she believes that something new has to be done, and that's what drives her to question how she's doing things and what new thing might happen. And so that her vision comes to her in a dream and through some conversations, and so that's part of the drama of it. But what drives that is her deep, unsettled sense that all of her good works have really been for naught after 40 years of giving and philanthropy on a very high level.
But isn't that part of life, to see that there's that constant balance between positive and negative, always going?
Oh, certainly. And that question right there, that point of view comes up in the story. Some of those, some of her family members and supporters and fans sort of shake her tree a little bit about this crazy idea that she gets, and they say, look, you can't expect to fix the world. It's not your world to fix. You've done your best. You've done more than anybody else, perhaps, and that's great. what else do you need to do? You know, why would you need to do anything else and feel the need to push farther? And so yes, I grant that, and I think that's a very valid viewpoint. So nevertheless, for the purposes of drama, as well as to ask the bigger question of, when we've done everything that we can and that we know how to do, what if we do something I'm getting emotional. What if we do something that we don't know how to do, but we suspect, might be just what we need to do? So that's what I'm trying to tap into. And that's what Minerva taps into, is the magic of going beyond what we know how to do and what we think we can do.
What is the one thing you would like readers to get from the story?
I would hope that the reader, first of all, enjoys the story and enjoys seeing the contest unfold. You know, where the origin of the idea and how it could actually play out in reality, in not in a fantasy, not in a science fiction far future, but in the immediate future. How could this really happen? I want them to, first of all, buy into the fact that it's possible. But after that, the real deeper point is, I want the reader to ask, what would I do if a contest hit the streets? If I woke up tomorrow morning and saw a headline announcing the launching of the contest, would I stand by? Would I enter? Would I be a naysayer? Would I be a critic? What part would I play? And if, as I'm hoping, more readers than not would say, I would enter, I want to enter, I can't wait for such a thing, then furthermore, what would be my ideas? What are the ideas that I would bring to the table? Because I think everybody ultimately is a philosopher. Everybody is more politically involved than they dare to admit. And it might be a secret involvement in that, and I would want everybody, the readers of this book, to bring out those ideas and put them on the table.
Through this aspect of not only writing the book, The Contest, but now also a challenge presented to you to see if there's groundswell and interest and stuff, would you follow it up with a secondary book?
You mean a sequel?
Sequel or something similar?
I've been asked that, and it's a good question. It's a yes. So my answer is I would consider it. It's not my first choice though for my next project. I consider this book to be very self-contained. The arc of the story is complete to either to a total degree or to a great degree. I mean, certainly I could imagine taking one or two of the principal characters and saying, here's what's coming next. So I'm open to that, but the next project is something quite new and different and fresh, and often in a different direction.
Which is what?
The new project is it's a transcendental adventure, and what I mean by that is that a whole lot of the adventure takes place inwardly. There will be some good, juicy, outward, exciting things that go on, but a whole lot of it is going to be what's going on inside the protagonist. What is he thinking about? What is he worrying about? What's he afraid of? The only other thing I'm going to add is this. A number of people near and dear to me have offered me lots of ideas and said, why don't you write a book about this, or why don't you do that, or even when I gave them the manuscript or a couple of chapters of the contest in the earlier stages, they would read and they gave me comments and feedback, which was all wonderful and valuable. And some of their advice, though, was, keep it simpler, use use easier words, you use too many big words, or it takes too long for this to unfold. And what I want to say here is that while that was valuable, and while I did listen to that, and I actually did adjust and edit accordingly, there was a point at which I was not willing to simplify it further or to slim it down. And the reason is because, to a big degree, I write for my own enjoyment as well. So I'm trying to imagine writing for an intelligent person and for a reader who really likes to dig in and doesn't mind a little bit more description, some juicy words here and there that they may have to go look up. I don't want them to, to scratch their head and wonder what the hell that whole passage was about, but I want to challenge my reader. So to you, the potential audience out there who's listening to this interview, please know that I'm trying to live up to my best, and I invite you to live up to your best.